All right, guys. We are back with more island tea. So today we have in studio a very special guest. Um, the man himself, Mr. Rasheed Eddy. Rasheed, good morning. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm good, man.
All
And you?
right, nice, nice. Well, it's ironic that Rashid is here today because we're literally just talking about sports in the earlier segment. But for those who don't know who you are and what you're into, tell us a bit about yourself.
So as you know, my name is Rasheed Eddy. I'm from the beautiful town of Sandy Point.
At least you didn't call it a country. At least you didn't say the Republic of Sandy Point or something. I appreciate it. As a
Um,
matter of fact, you might not be able to go back now.
I'm a national cricketer and also brand ambassador for Sinkers Nevis Development Bank.
Okay, well, yeah, the man's a brand ambassador. Well, nobody want me ambassador brand.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. Never mind. I just
Yeah, that's why branding, all kind of things. Like anyway, no, nobody taking me on. I guess it's the beard, but no, he got beard too.
and lock, so you can't even say.
But I
Had
telling you,
locks, but I had
Maybe don't
to
just say
get rid of them
I
because
don't
of
know.
cricket.
Maybe.
oh, you hear that?
Sure.
He was saying that because of the cricket, he kind of had to get rid of that. But
Oh.
I think that this is gonna be a very interesting conversation simply because um a lot of times we don't put a face to some of the people that represent us, right?
Correct.
Especially in the team events and team sports,
hmm
and I think even more so for cricket as opposed to football and track and field. But tell us a bit about how you would have got started on your road to becoming a national cricketer.
Well, I basically started playing cricket around the age of 6, 7. Um, Came up under the hands of Cadwell Rogers, a former national Leeward Island cricketer,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
along with Kenneth Douglas.
Right.
These are two people who nurtured me into becoming who I am in the cricket area. Came up playing cricket I started playing cricket for St. Kitts from under 13 coming up.
Okay. So you've been in the national program
Yeah,
from a young age.
for quite a while.
Mm.
Yeah. Never really took the sport serious, to be honest.
It was more of
Yeah.
a hobby at the time.
Yeah. I used to play cricket, football, track and field, handball.
Mm.
So basically, you should just go on the different sports. Then. In 2017, during CPL, I was basically a net bowler. The teams come in, the local association, they organize a few guys to net bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a conversation with Phil Simmons. He was the coach for St. Kitts Nevis PHS at the time. And I mean, I guess based on what he saw, the team traveled to Florida, they came back, and he made contact with my best friend, Jeremiah Louis. He's a Leeward Island cricketer. And told him to have me pack a bag and come to the hotel to join the camp.
Oh wow.
And then from then, based on the experience, it was a really great experience. We're talking about interacting and, being with guys like Chris Gale, Universe Bass, Carlos Brathwaite. These are the kind of guys who play for West Indies, So having the opportunity to be around them and see what the life is like. You're being paid to play the sport. You basically just have to show up to training, put in the hard work, and eventually just, go out and the day of the game and,
And perform.
perform. So that's when I really, started to take the sport serious. Spoke to assistant coach Donovan Miller, he's from Jamaica, Chris Gale, personal coach. And I told him, well, I would like to go out and, play cricket, develop my game a lot more and what's not. 2019 now, during CPL again, he told me, well, just give him until after the tournament finish. And I was like, but I usually hear this from, different coaches, like, I'm going to work with you, you got the
Yeah,
potential
yeah,
and what's
yeah.
not. But then you exchange numbers and so on, and you don't hear from them again.
Mm-hmm.
But he really came to for me in October. And he said, well, he have something for me in South Africa. I was like, South Africa, bye. I never thought about going here because, usually you leave from the Caribbean to play cricket, you're thinking about England.
England, yeah.
Yeah, so Put me on to the coach. Talk to the coach. The coach told me, well, this is the price and what's not. I said, I really and truly, I can't live for this on my own. So I decided, well, I mean, as a kind of person, I rather to ask or to try than to not do anything at all.
Right.
I prefer to not have a try.
Take
and
a
then
try
if I
and fail
don't
if
get,
anything.
yeah. I feel much better that way. So I did reach out to the Ministry of Sport and Development Bank, and then they agreed, and that's where everything basically started internationally.
All right, so you have actually played professionally outside of St. Kitts
Yes, in South Africa.
in South Africa.
I
and
was
this-
a part of a academy at first, Titans Academy, and then the head coach is also an agent.
Oh, okay.
So he got me into one of the top clubs in South Africa, Harlequins Club. Because I told him, well, I mean, being a new person, I don't want to go to the number one club. I rather to go to one of the clubs that is up there within the top 6.
You think that would help you develop?
Yeah, because I mean, drafting me into the number one club now and then playing 1 or 2 games and then I fail.
Right.
That basically it. So I rather to be in a club where the competitiveness is still there. The competition is still there, and just got a chance to build myself.
Just to be on the pitch
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. And then the interaction with the guys was good. The experience there was a lifetime experience, to be honest. I'm looking forward to being back there for the second half of this year.
Okay, so you would have gone off to the academy,
Yeah,
and through your work with the academy, would have ended up being placed
yeah.
in a
Into
team.
a Premier Division club, Harlequins Cricket Club.
Man, I think that is so admirable, because like you said, when we hear about professional cricketers, and we've had people from St. Kitts go off and play cricket, it's usually England.
Yeah.
And I think recognizing that there's so much more other opportunities out there
Correct.
for people who want to do cricket.
And
You
this
know,
might
as a
inspire
career.
somebody to want to do cricket. They might not be sure, they might be into multiple sports, and when they hear your story, they might be like, well, this is an opportunity that I think I should grab. So, I commend this.
Yeah, so definitely, like JD saying, it's something that I think provides an example of success,
Yeah,
right?
and that's for me basically the intention after that experience. For me to open doors and whatever I can do for people to whether hear or see. Hopefully people are seeing this. Even those who aren't seeing it, and people seeing this this show. They may know someone who have the got the potential to go far, and tell them, well, you got to reach out, because I think pretty much most of the times, right, you find that we got a lot of talent in the country, but we wait. We want to sit down and wait for people to come and say, well, you got the potential, I want to work with you. But at the end of the day, for me, it was all about knowing where I wanted to go.
Right.
So because I know where I wanted to go, and I mean, asking for help locally, and then, ain't really the help that I really want to get me to the next level, and me ain't getting it. So I decided to dig and search, and then, everything just started to fall in line.
Well, let's talk about that you mentioned, where it sometimes feel as though there's not enough support or opportunity for local cricketers to make that step. What do you think could help to foster us seeing more and more Kittitian division cricketers making this step and taking this sport seriously or professionally?
Well, first and foremost, the players have to show the interest.
Right.
That's the first thing. We gotta show the interest. Because what I've been seeing lately is that there are certain coaches who come around and they want to work with certain guys, but then guys would be like, yeah, come in, but then they come like the first 2 to 3 days and then you don't really see them again.
Right.
And another thing that I'm seeing is that the coaches them got more interest than with the players. But then we still want to argue when the coaches work out well. You're wasting my time. There's certain things that I could be doing, investing my time into something else.
So
So,
of course, and one of I see this so much in music and things like that, where managers or promoters and things sometimes seem to have more interest in the career of the person than the person themselves,
yeah,
and so that is a serious thing. So definitely the interest and the commitment from the cricketers is a huge factor.
yeah.
How about structurally and like is there things that we could do to see more
There's
success?
a lot of things that I think could be done based on the experience in South Africa. There's a lot of things that I think could be done to improve the sporting areas in general. In terms of cricket, the theory part need to be implemented in the schools. Like coming up in my time, you had coaches like Noel Gishard and so, you know, and then from 2 years after I came up to the under 13, like, that was it. Because under 13 every summer used to be a regional tournament. You're talking about under 13 teams from Trinidad, Barbados, Montserrat, Dominica, and so, and it used to be really good.
Yeah.
You know, and some of these same guys now have gone off to play international cricket for different countries, but where are we? No, we don't have that anymore. We just
When you say we don't have that, the
tournament,
competitions?
yeah, that
Okay.
tournament they no longer have the tournament. Also, in the schools, from what I've seen, because I mean, sometimes I just like, if I ain't Sunday parent, I would go down to school by my sister and what's not, look on the playing field. You just have like the coaches, they're just there, and the children, them, they're just, you know, doing their own thing.
Just playing.
But it's from a young age where you gotta understand, you gotta teach the children the basic stuff about the game,
Yeah.
the different catching arm, the different fielding positions, and these kind of things. So by the time you get older now, these are the fundamental parts that has already been established in the mind mentally.
Second nature.
So now, basically, as they go, you want to work on the technical part of the game. So that's a part that I think that we need to develop and build that kind of foundation in the Ministry of Sport.
You see, one of the things that I think we suffer from here across different disciplines, sporting disciplines, is this belief that, let me not say this belief, but not recognizing that there's a difference between a game and sport.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and I think a lot of times you look at the sports as games, like, oh, they're just playing, they're just having fun.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, yeah, but if we want to be able to compete on the highest levels, then, like you're saying, we have to start at the grassroots.
Yeah, correct.
And the sad part about it is we are seeing some of these established things disappear. I mean, even in football, I used to play national as well when I was younger, and you had competitions like the Keatley Shepherd tournament in Antigua. That don't happen no more. Like, so, and not only that, when I started doing, like, I did some coaching courses and stuff like that. And no, like, yeah, because I was involved in the sporting thing for a while. And then the thing is, you start learning about like you're saying, the fundamentals, the techniques, these different things.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, well, we didn't learn, well, we're only learning this now, right? We are the people that we are competing against.
They're so advanced. And
they're so far advanced, and these teaching techniques and things like that. And it makes it difficult for us to compete, even though this is why I find interesting. Without some of this, we are still very competitive.
Yeah.
So it tells me that we have extreme levels of talent.
Correct. I mean, I've seen that over the years in the senior level. Like St. Kitts go off to play in the Leeward Island tournament. National training will call this like a month and a half before the tournament. And we go out and we dominate the tournament.
Against teams that might have players who play professionally and stuff as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, we have a good amount of national players who play for Leeward Islands. Like lately, who have been performing really well. Sheena Berridge.
Right.
Year before the last tournament, he would have gotten the most wickets in the West Indies tournament for Leeward Islands. 4 years before that, Jeremiah Louis picked up the most wickets as well.
Yeah.
So,
what's the guy? What's IB5 real name? By
Hakeem Sanders.
Hakeem Sanders, yeah.
He's another one, but the man just talented.
Yeah,
And
he
the
a
one-
lot of talent,
And
man.
what's the one from Nevis that made the
For Patriots this year.
Yeah.
Kezan Archibald.
Yes.
Colin Archibald, yeah.
Cause watch it, a lot of artists just play cricket too, you know, I
Yeah.
think about it.
Smartly.
Cause he's a singer too, you know.
Yeah,
Like, he's a singer too, yeah.
Well, if cricket fails, you have a backup. But you said something earlier, and I was wondering about it because I feel like these is things that should be funded by maybe not the government, but some institution. Because if we want our players to reach a certain height, if we are so proud of them for making the Patriots team and these other teams, like we need to help them. So it made me feel aware that you had to ask for help from Development Bank when we have a ministry of
I mean, the
sports.
ministry came on board as well. The
ministry
ministry
helped
came
them,
on
yeah.
board as well. But it was basically me just trying to make sure that, just making sure that everything is covered.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a fund in place for other people who want to further their cricket.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, you never know unless you try.
Yeah.
So it's up to them now to, go out and ask, explain, well, this is what I want to do
Right.
and what's not.
The cricket academy still exists, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But one of the things that you mentioned, and this is something that I see in some of the other countries, is the direct link between the academies and agents. Either there's agents that are directly attached to the academy, or the academy knows how to put agents in the same space.
Well, I
with the
mean,
cricketers to be able to help.
From
to
what I
move them
know, the coach in South Africa, he's an agent. He's a
Right,
full-time
exactly.
agent as well. But at the end of the day, it boils down to who you know. And that is why it is important now for we as players. When teams come in, we try to interact as much as we could.
Network.
We try to learn as much as we could. Because at the end of the day, you never know what could happen. For instance, using me as an example, I interacted, I built a connection, and then everything just started to explode.
And even at that point, like you mentioned, you weren't necessarily thinking of this part.
Exactly.
Right. But it seems as though what would have happened is you got an opportunity
And I made the best of
and
it.
you made the best of the opportunity.
And another thing that I want to touch as well is that in sports, I don't think we stress on the nutrition part of it. We
Taking care of your body.
it's important, man. It is. And
So I can't just like eat.
No.
I can't just eat like a
Like,
whole,
for
a
me,
whole,
for
a
me,
whole piece
right?
of cake and then go play the game.
No.
no, cake,
Right?
cake
No?
make us fat, and that's why I'm trying to stay away from the cake right now.
Boss, be
Hey.
careful what you say, Be careful what you say, man.
No,
Don't get
I-
on the cake. Anyway, you must know what you're doing.
Watch.
I'm not going to
Don't-
say
don't-
anything,
watch,
but
don't-
you are in a very
Watch ya. I'm trying to
difficult
say,
position.
boss, I'm trying to save
to
you.
not like it.
I'm trying to save you. Remember, this show only going till 10 o'clock.
I
You
don't
gotta go
know
back to
you-
your life.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't like cake. But
I mean, back to
because she
back
does be sneaking out
Sneaking out the cake.
the cupcakes. Them. He
Oh,
was-
that's in the off season.
in your hat bag. I sweat it. But I mean,
Look here, we have a comment. I'm not going to tell who the comment is from, but it's Burr in capitals with question
I
marks.
tried to save him,
So
I tried to save him.
you might have to do some damage control after the show.
No man, he good, man. He good.
Yeah,
But
Rasheed sweating.
the man, I try to save the man. But Rasheed, tell us a bit more about how serious your nutrition, your diet is to the success in what you're doing.
at the end of the day, what you put into your body is what you're gonna get out. You wanna eat a lot of like KFC and the junk food, and so you can't go out and expect to have a best performance in a game. Where like for me, before I left for South Africa, I was eating KFC almost every day. I was
Right.
training hard. I was looking at my stomach and so I was like, losing my belly fat,
Right. Even though you're training hard.
Even though I training hard. When I reach now, I lost 15 pounds in the first week of training.
Wow. Wow. And that's just because, putting different.
But I mean,
Okay,
not coming with that now, not necessarily because of the eating, but because of the different type of training.
Oh, okay.
Like when I got there and the training was really tough, but because I know, well, this is what I really want now, and I've been asking for it. I can't run from it.
No, you gotta do it.
Like I telling you, rocking up for training at 5 in the morning. When we got summer, they got winter. So when I reached down now, it was heading into the winter. So you're talking about -1 again, so. And I got to go to training from 5 o'clock in the morning.
One thing I don't respect.
Gym, you're talking about gym from 5 to 6, you get 2 hours to recover. And then from 8, go down to like 11:30, intense, like real intense work. And then when I think that, well, it done now, we cool on run now, is a 6 to 8 run. That is for cool down.
That's the cool down.
Yeah.
After the workout.
After you done train from 8 to like 11:30.
I am so glad that the Lord knows that would not be my ministry, so He made me awkward.
And then we start.
I can't.
We start to get like the nutrition, classes and so. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna try on the KFC. Sad to say, right? Sad to say, but the KFC, bye. It's better than home. The KFC better than home, so I was eating the KFC every day.
I wanted you to leave the studio and be safe. I can't guarantee you protection after this, my boy. But that man, the man does say. South Africa KFC better than Senki's one.
What time it is? Interview.
I mean,
I can't believe you just said that,
Yeah, but I couldn't believe it neither. So you want to take a trip?
The man doubling down on this nonsense on live radio.
I'm trying to save him. So actually, saying about nutrition in the classes and so.
So yeah, we started giving nutrition and so on. I cut off all the junk food.
Right.
My body started to feel better. I get fitter. My performance, increase.
Yeah.
So said that to say, well, it's important to eat healthy as a sportsman.
You think that that information is really part of the programs here in St. Kitts?
No.
The nutrition
Because
is something that we need to improve
even
on.
since I came back, I spoke to a few people, and I've been asked to come and even speak to one of the national football teams, under 20. I'm just waiting until they're ready for me to come, and I'm more than happy to share my experience as a sports person and impact what I could. Because at the end of the day, it ain't just about me. It's just to come back, and I just want to be a leader for people to see and follow.
Yeah.
That's the intention.
I think we do need, I always speak about this, examples of success. I think that goes a long way in not only, like Jade was saying earlier, encouraging people to move along the same path and show that it could be done. But I think that goes a long way in justifying some of the investments that we know we need to make in some of these areas. When we have the examples of success, it's easier for politicians to say, well, let's invest in this and that because we see some returns. Or maybe they want to be associated with some of the things that have been happening. But that is so interesting that because when you think about it, it feels like such a hey, how we in doing this? But I know for a fact that nutrition is one of the things that we need to improve upon.
Important, man.
In St. Kitts and Nevis especially, well, I couldn't only talk for here because only here, but yeah, I feel like we don't put enough pressure on trying to at least be healthy because like eating fast food is cool, like we like it tastes good.
I mean, nothing is wrong with a cheat there.
Yeah. Moderation, everything in moderation.
Yeah, but we have to take care of our bodies because it's the only body we have. Yeah. It's the only one we're going to get unless you buy a new one, which
especially if you intend to use your body to feed your family.
Yeah.
Like and to pay your bills, like you have to take care of it.
Sports and all these activities is.
I'm involved in music and mixing and thing, right?
I know you didn't say it on the stage.
Yeah, yeah. But one of the things though is like because I mix and use my ears. There's things that I do that people wouldn't do because I feel I need to protect my ears. So there's places I wouldn't go because it's just too loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always have earplugs in my vehicle. Like normal people might not have earplugs in the vehicle, but I have to protect my ears because that's how I intend to continue to pay my bills.
And even if
So
you're
you have to do that.
and even if you're not in a sporting career, like people who do things that involve strenuous activity, for instance, if you're a promoter, you have to be running back and forth.
Yeah.
You can't do that while you are unhealthy. It takes such a strain on your mentals and your body physically, because by the time 12 o'clock come, you're so tired you can't even run across the field to tell somebody like this needs fixing, or to tell Azim, the axe here, because you just can't do it because you're not physically able to do it. So yes, we really need to take care of our bodies. We need to put more emphasis on health and eating right and some exercise. Like I know, like me, I hate to exercise. A lot of people hate to exercise, but like when I say hate to exercise, like
I think the problem is that we want the good, but we
But
don't want to put
do
in the work. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to put in the work to get
Yes.
it good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, time running out on us. But if there's somebody out there listening who is considering a career in cricket, who wants to make that next step, or parents who see talent in their kids, what would you say are some of the main points that they need to focus on to help make that a reality?
Well, in terms of when you mention about parents, I think parents like to stress on, especially those who in school, the children in school. They like to stress on, if you're doing good in the schoolwork, you can't play cricket.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think parents need to ease off on that for a bit.
Yeah, direct, big time.
They need to ease up because when you stress a child on one thing, they can't function on the next.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people in general could deal with pressure. Nobody like to deal with pressure.
Positive reinforcement as opposed to
Yeah,
negative reinforcement.
exactly.
But not only that, yes, education is important, but everybody doesn't want to do
Yeah.
something in that field.
Exactly.
Like everybody don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer. Some people just want to play sports, and that's probably why they're trying to pay more attention to that than their books. Like,
Yeah.
not saying you shouldn't pay attention to your books, but I feel like we as parents, we need to nurture these gifts that our children have, or the talent that we may see in our children if we just pay attention. Because they literally tell you like, yeah, I want to play cricket, I want this for cricket or football or whatever. They literally show the interest in the sport. So when you tell them, oh, if you're not doing this in your book or you're not paying attention in school in the way that I feel like you should, like maybe they just don't have that interest.
Or perhaps they just need a little assistance.
Another
Yeah.
thing as well, I mean, parents need to invest time and support into the children as well. Oftentimes you find, parents, they just want to find something as a getaway for the child to be away from them. But it should be a part of the child's life more, especially from a young age coming up. Because at the end of the day, if the child, depart from the sport because of the lack of support,
Right.
especially in the home, they start to look outward for it, and then, things just start to go left.
Mm.
And then who are we to blame?
Right. So definitely support all around is something that I've been hearing from you consistently throughout this interview. Support from the corporate community, support from the Ministry of Sports and the government, but also even within the homes, being able to really support, because we do recognize that we do have abundance of talent here, and you being one of the examples of success, somebody who would have been able to go out and succeed on an international stage. Kudos to you, and really want to wish you more success.
Thanks, man.
And really look forward to hearing even more about your career as you move forward.
Yeah.
But Jade,
Why everybody laughing? What happened?
It's that time of day.
Yeah,
Time of
we,
day.
you know.
Actually, are you going home to pass out here? Because
I go home. I can't function no more. I need to go home too.
actually, I
This
so
week-
tired, right?
This week is a why? It's a busy week.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, you don't have no time to go home to sleep
Mm-mm.
because you have to make sure we party on Monday. It's my birthday Monday. I'm so looking forward to this event.
Actually, I so looking forward to my bed. Like
Well,
if
you've been in your
but
bed.
that's what I'm telling you. Like, so Diane, telling you something. Diane, tell you something. Like, I need at least another 5 days. Right?
You have it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, 4. Don't give you 4.
All right. I'll take the 4. But guys, it's been a real pleasure being back and talking to Mr. Eddy. I want to say thanks to Jade and Kevin for holding on the fort while I was away. You guys did a good job.
Me hear from him today. Yeah.
Kevin,
He had to leave us
Oh,
already.
okay.
Kevin had to go fix something on the International Space Station.
Okay.
He's in space right now, really.
Yeah. Internet, something.
Yeah. So, again, thanks to all the listeners. You guys really appreciate you guys tuning in daily and being a part of Island Tea. Looking forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday, hearing about all the amazing things that would have happened on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Stay safe. Remember, not because we here and things jiggy, me and we gotta go wild.
Yeah.
And
Amali will speak to that in his
yeah, COVID.
outro.
Yeah, but I've been even talking about just like the COVID protocols and
Mhm.
things still in place, try and be safe, be mindful, embrace each other with grace and love.
Mhm.
And
We don't want to hear no tragedies over the weekend. Please, we want to come back here on Tuesday and talk about all types of positive things that
and good
happen.
news.
Yes,
Yeah, good news. We didn't speak about it. We didn't get to it. It was on the list, but we do know there was a shooting incident last night. And just want to send out prayers and well wishes to the loved ones of the deceased. It's unfortunate. We never want to hear these kind of things.
Yeah.
But prayers, love, guidance, and hopefully time, the grief becomes something even more manageable than it is now.
Mhm.
But guys, it's gonna be a long weekend, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Because I already feel like I'm ready to pass out.
Jade, what kind
I'm having anyway.
too much cake. That's what I'm telling you. Too much
It's
cake.
not cake. We are not.
It's too much
we're
cake.
not cursing cake.
No,
on the ear.
you hear what I said? Too much cake, not cake, but too much cake.
No, it wasn't that.
You want to eat a whole chocolate cake? You want? Share no? Anyway,
All right.
well, I must see. But guys, really looking forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday when we're gonna be right back here on Island Tea. Most Mondays to Fridays.
Most Mondays to Friday. But tomorrow, even though we won't be in, we will be, we're playing maybe 1 or 2 episodes to keep y'all company in the morning.
Yeah, tune in.
Probably just on the radio.
Yeah, a couple cool interviews too. We've had some really good interviews.
Yes, I think I might chop up about 4 of them and,
Nice.
re-listen to those.
Nice. So yeah, guys. So if you need your daily Island Tea fix, don't worry. Tomorrow and possibly on Monday as well, right here on Win FM 98.9, you could tune in and get your dose of the tea in the morning. So Jade, let us hear from our alumni, Mr. Amali.
Safely and do right by others. Please use our roundabouts correctly, meaning don't overtake in our roundabouts, don't switch lanes in our roundabouts, and when you're exiting, please indicate so that folks driving behind you can know what your intentions are. It will reduce accidents and almost accidents by significant proportions.
Stay in your lane, people.
Stay in your lane figuratively and
literally.
Also, please let us remember to park our vehicles in a manner which is conducive to the collection of garbage from our friends at Solid Waste. If you park your cars irresponsibly, then people can get their garbage collected with the trucks.
Clean.
So gentlemen, when you're thieving a piece, please park around the corner
Right.
so the truck can get up the street or where your madam lives to collect her trash.
Indeed. It might work out better for you too.
Indeed, it's going to be a clean environment when you get there the next time. Also, let us please put pressure on our lawmakers and our policy makers and our policy designers and wheelers and dealers in Parliament to take a look at our outdated laws, all of them, the traffic laws, the sexual assault laws, the everything as it relates to, so that they can relate to current day life and current day society here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Update them so it's a reflection of what's actually happening and not what used to happen in the 1960s. And with that, I will turn it over to our Master of Ceremonies, His Excellency Honorable Kevin Hanley.
Kevin Henley, also known as the Duke of Frigate Bay, also known as Fetvan, also known as Prosecco Papi, who is not here right now, but however,
Ellsworth sent his message.
Ellsworth Obadiah,
Obadiah, yes, I forgot.
Master of Ceremonies, Sir Hanley, sent his greeting. So,
Thank you all for tuning in, and remember that you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday.